Hi, this is Jaya. In this video, we shall see an outline of British history from 1087 to 1189. In 1087, William II, also known as William Rufus, came to the throne. He was a very cruel man and his death happened in a very tragic circumstances. When he went for hunting along with his men, an arrow aimed by some unknown person pierced him and he fell down dead. And all his companions ran in different directions, and therefore no one knows who was the person who had actually aimed this arrow on him. And next morning, the dead body was found by the foresters, and these foresters carried his dead body in a cart and brought it to Winchester, which was the country's capital. And there his body was buried without any religious ceremony. After him, his younger brother Henry I ruled from 1100 to 1135, and next to him, king was Stephen of Anjou. He ruled from 1135 to 1154. And King Stephen's brother Henry II ruled from 1154 to 1189. And it was during Henry II's ruling time, there was a big quarrel between King Henry II and Thomas of Becket, who was the Archbishop of Canterbury. The fight was because they wanted to know who was the real powerful person and who holds the power, and the struggle of power was between the state and the church. Actually, Thomas Becket was the son of a London merchant, and he was the chancellor of Henry II. He was very loyal to Henry II, and therefore the king thought that if he appoints him as the Archbishop of Canterbury, he can bring the power of the church also into his hand. So he appointed him as the Archbishop of Canterbury. But what happened is, once he became the Archbishop, he thought that the power of the church must be within the church and should not go into the hands of the king. And what happened is, the king said that if there is any cases which is happening within the church, that is in the which is offending the clergymen, that case must be brought to the king's court according to the law of the land. But Becket said no. If there is anything to be done with the cases of the clergymen, it should be dealt only in the ecclesiastic court, that is in the court of the church, because that should be done according to the canon law. Now the king was very angry because he thought Becket is his man, and therefore he will support him and bring the power of the church into his hand. But Becket was very stubborn. He said no, whatever is the power of the church will remain only with the church. And Becket knew that this would have angered king, so it may even cause any danger to his life. So he went off to France. But even from there was a vigorous controversy going on, and this lasted for another 6 years. But after 6 years, some sort of an agreement reached between both of them. And on 1st December 1170, Thomas Becket returned to England. But the moment he came back to England, he excommunicated the bishop because this bishop cited the king during their quarrel. And this news reached Henry II, and this enraged the king. And while he was sitting with his men, he said he can be peaceful only if he gets rid of this archbishop. And some of his men who were around him understood that the king wanted to get rid of the Thomas Becket, and so they went to Canterbury. And on 29th December, 4 of the king's men, they went to the cathedral, and at that time Becket was in his evening prayer. They went in and they drew their swords and they killed him. They killed him by stabbing him multiple times. The entire Christendom and the whole of England, the people were shocked that an archbishop was murdered inside the church while he was doing his prayers. And within 3 years, the Archbishop Thomas Becket was declared as a saint, and the Canterbury Cathedral started attracting pilgrims from all parts of the Europe. The king also felt very bad for uttering certain words without thinking, and in order to do penance for his sin, he allowed all the clergymen to be tried in the ecclesiastical court, and this practice continued till the days of the Reformation. And this martyrdom of Thomas Becket has been entered in many literary works of many people. And Chaucer's masterpiece, The Canterbury Tales, is a collection of stories which is said to be told by the pilgrims who were going to this shrine. And George Darley, the Irish dramatist, and Alfred Tennyson have written dramas about Thomas Becket. And T.S. Eliot's Murder in the Cathedral is based on this tragic end of this great churchman, Thomas Becket. If you have anything more to add on to what I've said, please write it in the comment box, like the video, share it with your friends, and if you have not subscribed my channel, please subscribe and support. Thank you.